I would love to be a speaker, and but most importantly, I would love to be in love because when I'm in love, I walk about this high off the ground, and I'm just filled with joy. And then I really am fired up and amped up from my heart, and I would never hurt anybody. I don't.
Well, you need to join our Roses Circle, our weekly, and that's what we because you've been awakened and you went through your dark night of soul. Now for time for you to pull him in with your energy.
I'm going to do that, and
We
I
we
love
do,
you.
yeah, we do everything. It's like it's not. Sometimes people say, "Okay, I did this." It's like, for example, they're putting up vision boards and for manifesting, but you need to take actions, and you still need to use, like maybe apps, networking, and you just put out the effort. This is what I say. Sometimes I'm talking with my spirit. I say, it's like I know I'm gonna do it, but why are you giving me so much of hard time until like sometimes these great songs, for example, I had a great friend, it's like the very popular songs, it was a songwriter. And but you think this is just maybe like 3 minutes song, and but sometimes takes months to write it. It's like if something looks really great, effortless, but those great things comes from a long time. And the answer was because you would know so many other things how it's not working. So every time what I did, and I always achieve. Yes, I manifest, but I still put the work. And the
You've
love
got to
is
do the
the same.
work.
Love is the same thing. So the girls are saying, it's like, I haven't met the one yet. I said, by the time you meet the one, you're going to date enough, like you're going to kiss enough frogs, and you're going to appreciate the love you have. Because it comes so easy, we don't appreciate. And, like we girls, like we got kicked out from heaven because we were curious. We wanted to know what happens in the knowledge tree. It's like we wanted to bite the apple. So, we like to learn, and so the learning is the best way is dating and knowing what's not working, and you're going to see enough men, and then when the time comes, it's like, I'm about to give up, and then shows up, and then shows up plenty of it. So
And I want to say, if anybody could be a matchmaker or anything she wanted, but now it would be her. Because I'm very particular about who I open up my heart to. She's a hard worker. She's beautiful. She's been through it herself, but she's spiritual, and she will be able to tune in to what you don't even want people to know. And that's when she can dig in deep and help you do the work.
oh, we
So
have no secrets. That's like
now,
what
oh, her and
mine,
I,
we
oh,
have no secrets. And I guess something about my energy is like since I was a child, people tell me anything and everything, more than I need to know. But I am the type of person, I take those secrets to grave with me. It's like, so that's why I have a lot of friends around me because they could trust me. Trust is really, really important. And also, like today, people scared to tell each other the truth. If, for example, if let's say you decide to color your hair green or something, or went gray, and if I feel like that's not going to work for you, I tell. Most of the time, people are out there not telling each other a truth. Even the friends are not telling each other a truth. I'm a truth teller. I tell people what's work, what doesn't work, and then I know the men's side, what how they look at analyze women in the beginning, and then I just warn them. For example, I have these successful ladies, and they take photos. And doesn't matter what type of dress they're wearing, that the energy coming through is a masculine. I say we need to soften up and look at the camera like you're making love to a camera. She has a lot of feminine energy. April, you're like oozing of feminine energy.
well,
You should be teaching.
a psychic told me once, years and years
You
ago
should
when
be
I was a
teaching
young,
the feminine energy because
that is, and she said, everyone is a soul, and they are like babies in an incubator. They go down, and they're made out of different energies. Sounds ridiculous, but I believe it. And that's why we have all this on earth. We have the same kind of babies and all of this. But mine is made of fae, which is a fairy, and nymph, which is a seductress. And so I thought, well, that makes so much sense. And so,
They need to, because today women are, because they need their masculine energy to be powerful and strong in business world. What happening that what makes them powerful, being resilient, being strong, and becoming their worst enemy in dating. And when the men sense that energy, they walking away. And one of them, they said, it's like, I'll cut my penis off if I cannot resist a woman like that, because they're so scared from, they want to be the men, they want to be the leader, and they feel like they're gonna share the, like the manhood, you know what I mean? It's like the having a partner. Some
well,
guys are like the, because not every man, but these some of the type of men, they like to be leader, they're like a high earner, and they like kind of like, this is very rare, but it's like sometimes the girls are attracted to these, like, high earners, like, like, like they're obsessive. It's like kind of narcissist, okay? It's like that's made them successful. These are like, like very, very powerful guys I'm talking about. And they don't like to share the spotlight. And I had one guy actually divorce the wife because she started outshining him. It's like because and but really feminine, soft woman, the next woman came along. She is beautiful, soft, and softening his hardness. It's like because these men, they want to be lose themselves and loosen up arms of the soft gentle woman, and they don't want the masculine woman. That's what you should teach. I think you should write a book about, like, how you
well, and
keep that
also
energy.
men are just as afraid as we are. They have been damaged too. I mean, let's not, there's a lot of women who have issues and made mistakes with men and regret it. And so I think we all come, we're like in our own little planet bubbles. We all have our stuff and we're bumping into each other all the time, like, whoop. Oh, okay. Oh, that kind of hurt, or that was a pinchy one. And I guess what we're here to do in life is to learn about love. And when something happens, just kind of after you cry or get mad and do whatever you have to do, then start to think, why did that happen to me? What was the lesson? If I'm here to learn about love, what did that teach me? What's about me that I haven't, if I'm so ouchy,
And
you hurt
what
me.
did you learn from that, the last relationship you have? What teach you? It's like when you look back, and or you could say, give me a couple of examples. It's like the, like maybe the marriage you had with father of your children, and then the Rolf, and each one. What did you learn from each one?
Um, I learned, well, from one thing, I learned that I have a type. I definitely did have a type, and it was a type that looked and acted like my father because I had daddy issues. And that was something I really had to look at and figure out why I'm still trying to fix what I never had with daddy. And that wasn't their job to fix it either. And that wasn't my job to ask them. So for me to go into a relationship and say, mentally, I didn't say this verbally, of course, I got daddy issues. I hope you're going to step in here. That's not fair to them either. I mean, it's not fair. I'm setting him up to fall, basically, because he's never going to be
Did
daddy.
you know you had a dairy issues when you were living through it, or this was after you
I
decided?
did, but I thought I was just gonna, I thought this was gonna fix it. Like, and I didn't realize when I would hear their voices, their auditory voices all sound the same to me on the phone. So when I would hear them, I would think, God, that sounds like so and so, or God, that sounds like dad. And then, it hit me. And also, I wanted their approval because my father never gave me approval. So I kept putting on them again, am I good enough? Am I sweet enough? Am I the one for you? Then that's not their job either. So, and I think men do the same thing. You're going to fix me, and then I can't fix you, and then you're mad and you go have an affair because that didn't work. So I'm going to go get someone else to fix me. And it feels good for a couple months or a year or 2 years, and then they're on the same track again. And in the meantime, we're just hurting each other.
What do you give advice? It's like, if somebody has a daddy issues and they recognize them, but they don't want to repeat the same thing again, what would you recommend how they could snap out of that?
I don't know if you ever snap out of it. It's like once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic, but you don't drink alcohol anymore. I think the biggest part as a mental health therapist is if I can get them to crack open and I feel them crying and going, "Yes, my dad," then you know. Once you know, and in my last book, I want you to become conscious of your consciousness. The brain and the mind has no time zone. So if I want to go back and be miserable, all I got to do is think about that and I'm there. The mind doesn't have a time zone. So everything, and that's why when they say everything's happening at the same time,
Oh,
it
we
is.
told them there, like your spiritual background, and also we said you were at home, but she's a real therapist, guys, and you want to tell them, it's like, you're not just talking, just.
No, I have two masters in counseling and years of experience with addiction and trauma and women and men. And I do on my website, I do coaching. I'm not in the field anymore, so I don't go through Medicaid or Medicare. I do have those numbers, but I just don't use them because it gets
So
very
these
complicated.
are people are for the relationship or addiction. It's like,
Anything at all. Or like I get people calling me is, what does it mean to be conscious? Like they're reading my book. Can you explain that a little bit more? And to be conscious is, oh, this guy has the same bad qualities that I fell in love with before. What does that mean? Do I want to enter? Do I still need healing there? And maybe I will enter that again, but I will know now what I'm getting myself into. And now I take responsibility for the lessons I'm going to learn. I'm not saying it's a quick fix. I mean, it's like trying to tell an alcoholic everywhere you go, there's liquor at the pool, at the party, at the wedding, at the funeral afterwards.
oh,
I
you
mean,
attract them. Yeah. And I came up with this idea because my
yeah,
dad,
tell
like
me.
they're abandoned me. And so, and always my dad is, like compares it with the other people who doesn't matter what you do, there's never good enough. It's like
Right.
always putting it down, always putting it down. But he wasn't a good provider and I helped him. And so constantly working, but never getting recognition. So what it did me is I'm very hard on myself to be a perfectionist, so cannot find any excuse. But after I realized this and I took a man to, like basically, provide for them, it's so true. It's like if you don't figure this out, ladies, you're going to be suffering the rest of your life in the relationship. But
Well,
after I
because you're
figured
going
it
to be
out,
unhappy and you're not going to know why. And the guy who's maybe really a great guy
yeah,
is going, I'm trying everything. Why can't, what do I need to do to make you happy? Guys, I'm supporting you at this point. There's a lot of guys who are going, I've tried everything with this woman and
so
she's still not
what I
happy.
came up with now, I know it's like why I am choosing the type of man I was choosing. It's like, because I didn't get recognition from my dad. So,
Neither did I.
but if I'm a provider, if I'm a leader, and then he is attached to me, he cannot leave me because I'm the provider and I'm supporting. He cannot cheat me. He cannot leave me because I had abandonment. I
Because
was,
you have power. It
yeah, I
became
have a
a
power.
power
Yeah.
struggle. So
So
when you overpowered him, and then maybe she would fall in love with someone a little bit beneath her subconsciously,
I did.
so that she always has the power
Always
because
have the
that's her
but
safe
what
zone.
but what happened? My first husband said he was crying. He says, "Rose, you don't deserve it. But even if I try, I cannot love you." I said, "Why?" It's like he was very proud of me outside, bragging about everybody how successful I am, how good provider I am, how beautiful I am, whatever. But in person, he said, because everybody looking up to me, or in his circles, but he said, You do everything better than I do." So he didn't feel like a man. So he was crying. He said, It's like, even if I try, I hate you. It's like, this was father of my child. And so, ladies, it's still like the God didn't create us, so like that was wrong. So I learned my lesson. Now I say I want to experience something. I know why I was choosing that type of man. Now I choose a type of man I could appreciate and puts me into ease, and I could look up to him and he could feel like a man, because I was keeping the leash before. I was like choosing a man I could control, and I was acting
And
like a man.
eventually she wouldn't respect him, maybe even subconsciously. Then she
Oh, I
became a
did.
little dissatisfied.
I was the man. Yeah, it's like,
And a woman doesn't really want to be the man. The same thing. I don't really want to have to chase for love. But men also, girls, listen to this. This is very important.
it is very
Men
important.
who cheat sometimes did have a bad relationship, an over controlling mother, an over controlling sister, an over controlling woman in their life somewhere. And now they're so afraid to be controlled that I call them runners. They run and sleep with everyone and commit to nobody. Because you know why? If I'm not committed, you're not going to hurt me.
Right.
So if I could stay, I can get laid, I can have the army, the eye candy, I can have this and I can look like this, but I'm really not going to get hurt because I'm really still running emotionally away from you. And I will never commit. And then that wife or that girlfriend is going, I never make him happy. He doesn't want you to make him happy. He's too afraid to succumb to you.
It's like if in the relationship, if we're able to sometime, it's like make him feel like he's still chasing. Doesn't matter if it's a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. It's like a man has to be chaser, man has to be pursuer. And then sometime attentionally, I used to shake things up. So, like he will feel of like, oh, I'm losing this. It's like shaking the piece a little bit. So, excitement could come back. The makeup sex is great. And,
Right,
going
exactly.
out. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's like drama queen. That's no, no, no. That's not the drama. But sometimes it's great to be like, for example, like the last boyfriend I dated. Let's say he did something disrespectful, but it wasn't big enough to end the relationship. So I space myself out, and then he sees something is not right, and then I tell him, it's like, What's wrong, Rose?" It's like I said, "I'm trying to forgive you. Like this is already taken care of, but I'm not stupid. I got it. I know what you did, but it's not big enough, but I'm just giving us a little space." So boom, it's like he's not defensive, because when you say it that way, he does, because if you accuse somebody for doing something, they get defensive. But if you don't say anything like that, you say, "I'm trying to forgive you, but this you said or this did upset me. I'm just taking a little break." And what happens? And then, he sets up, like nice dinner, buys flowers, or, takes you out to shopping or whatever. But he accepts it. And sometimes just fixing it nicely, but keep bringing things up to, plus also all the relationships we need to still work on. No relationship perfect. You're never going to have a man going to do everything right. But you could use those little flaws and the little mishaps to benefit the, grow the relationship.
Right. And also cheaters, usually people who are chronic cheaters, I'm not talking about someone who had one mistake. Chronic cheaters usually have really low self-esteem,
Yeah.
and they're codependent, and they're constantly needing like a beautiful chalice, a cup that has a big crack in it. They're constantly needing to be fed, but the crack is there and because they're not well and it's always flowing
Why
out.
do you guys think it's like the Mario Shriver got cheated by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then the woman was like a maid, and like cannot, like she wasn't even pretty. And that was, I seen the same thing resembling to that. It's a beautiful woman. She's very successful, and her husband cheated with somebody doesn't even come close to her. And I interviewed these type of guys. I said, "Why did you do it?" Because they're trying to get back to the wife, and they're so sorry. And he says, because that woman made him feel like a man and desirable. But, it's like he would never respect her, but he felt something he didn't feel in his marriage. And his wife was, oh,
Or inside himself. Let's get real deep,
yeah,
because it's not your wife's or your husband's job to fulfill you and make you feel loved. Once again, if you don't feel loved yourself, Taylor Swift's not going to make you feel loved, honey. Beyonce's not going to make you feel loved. The beautiful 18-year-old Miss Teen America's not going to make you feel loved. Get real.
And then
Do
the
the
thing is
work.
like, like Arnold Schwarzenegger with the Maria Shriver, that she's from Kennedy, is like a kind of royalty. And coming, it's like in this country, having a woman like that, it wasn't like, sex. It was just something. I think it was just he didn't feel, like, probably Maria wasn't looking at him like how that the maid was looking at him.
Well, does look cold.
Maria.
She does look a little cold and stiff. But he knew that going in.
Yeah.
Maybe he married her because of who she was. I don't know.
I
And
think
sometimes we marry people we don't even know why we married them.
a social
I'm
climb.
not blaming him. Yeah, it's social climbing.
Yeah, it's like, so he was he got the connections and become a son-in-law to
Do you
the.
ever see the president and his wife and she throws her hand and says, "Don't hold my hand"? I'm not going to go there. I'm
There is
sorry.
a
I had to throw that one in because it's so obvious that she's there for many, many reasons.
well, he is not a easy guy, okay? It's like Trump
But
is,
she knew that going in.
yeah,
That's another thing. Don't we, once again, I'm going to go back around, and I know my clients get so mad at me. Didn't you know that? I have clients that go, he's such an asshole. Blah, blah, blah. I go, I think he was probably always like that.
yeah, he was.
People really don't change
No,
that much.
he wouldn't.
I'm a Spitfire. I am a Spitfire. I mean, I'm always going to be a Spitfire. I'm always going to be a fairy.
I met
So
Marla
that
Maples. I met Marla Maples. It's like with the American-born American girl, he didn't last too long. But I knew that. I said Trump not gonna, because his first wife was from Czechoslovakia or something. It's like the first one, the mother of the daughter, and
all the girls, you're
and
bringing
then
the
he
boys.
married Marla Maples. Marla Maples, when she was married, she was doing the Broadway show. I said, "Oh my God, Trump gonna divorce her soon," and he did.
Why do
Because
you think he liked women from other countries more than the American woman?
they put up with them, because they kind of
I
used
wanted
to
to
that
just hear you say that.
the macho-ness and like the leader attitude, and so women are more deal with that kind of issues. I'm not saying it's like they could get away with they're tough girls. It's like they're not doormats, okay? And some of these Russian women are coming. It's like like even the Turkish ones, or they're not a doormat. They're tough women, but they deal with it because they learn to keeping the unity, keeping families important, because there's like families, they don't reward the divorce. And
That's how we were in the 30s and 40s in America
yeah, because in
before.
America, it's like it's okay, it's normal society, except, oh, if you're not happy, okay, well, no problem. But in our society, it's like back in days, it's like even my parents, it's like, I used to complain from my first husband. They're like, they didn't want to hear about it. They like, doesn't matter what, you're gonna work your straight up. And there's no perfect relationship. So that's why the women are putting up with it, because they used to it. It's more in that society, that woman culturally, able to handle the tough men and strong men. And Trump is a handful, so he makes the world like like wondering, it's
I
like
really
what he's
like him.
gonna do next, what's gonna do next.
Yeah, and not, I have nothing again. I really like him. It's just that mouth of his, that mouth. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. He's lucky I'm not his wife. I'd be like, what are you doing?
And he said it. It's like his wife saying to him, it's like, how can you? It's like, please don't say this. It's like he's doing his way. It's like he
He's gonna do
doesn't
it
care.
this way.
He could get, but
But
it's like people love him for who he is, though. It's like, either you hate him or you love him. It's like he is who he is.
I love everybody. I think everybody has a job to do on this planet. I think he has a job to do, whether it's to reveal things or to let things come out that need to be. I mean, I think astrologically, they call him the disruptor. So he was here to disrupt the status quo, shake it up.
Okay, it's like maybe
But
we could just
anyhow,
cut this and then we could just add it to the other video. But my
okay,
idea is that this war is not between Israel and not between Iran. This war is between China and United States. And Donald Trump was chosen for this job and this time because spiritual shifts are happening, world shifting. We're going to go into a golden age. System's going to change, banking system's going to change, everything's going to change. It's going to be like this one world order,
right, it is.
without the borders. And so, but this could take years, but he is first, you have the system has to come down to
Collapse. It has to come.
apps to build over. So he was chosen for that. And I know some people, they cannot stand it, they don't understand, but I respect everybody, doesn't matter, light, dark, doesn't matter, but everybody doing their job to go to a golden age because China become too powerful. And so the United States, the reserve money was issues like they were kind of doing things it's like people might not use, and then he was like rubbing the China was like getting too powerful in Middle East and friendships and stuff like that. Those canals are really important for the American economy. So and that's why it's like who's going to control those canals, that area controls the economy around the world. That's like, so us being as an American, it's like, what's the America's interest? It's our interest. And also for the peace in the world. In the world, the only America could be fair to keep the peace around the world. You cannot trust Chinese. You can, I'm not, like you cannot trust
Yeah.
Spanish. The China, because the reason is why only country. First of all, United States are one of the newest country. It's a less bloodshed and as like as a soil. And then also we have in this country people from all around the world. We have from every continent, every country, we have a people here. Energy here is more fair to keep the peace around the like if gonna be a one country to be chosen to police the world, that has to be United States. And that's
It is. It is. That's true. Like the White House, they're supposed to be centers of energy. The England takes care of the money. America, the White House takes care of the wars, the armies.
yeah,
And there's another one. Oh, Israel, or one of them over there takes care of the spirituality.
yeah.
They work in like they work in like a what?
Because if you give the power to
A
like police
triangle.
the world, the Chinese, they cannot be fair. It's like they cannot be fair. It's like the only such a blended country is the United States. We have the army, we have the people, we have the right the spirituality, like the energy here. And you could say it's like why not England? Like the England was before, but it's so much bloodshed. And yes, British is all mixed too. It's like they have all nationalities in England too. But it just, that era's end. Now it's the time for United States to be the police, and they need to be one police. You cannot have too many. So, and then we have nuclears in the world too. It's like, so it's very important to have. I know it's like United States the most fair and makes the right decisions. And so that's why we need to support our country. We need to support our president, and they doing the right thing. But some of the things are really hard to explain to people. And that's why sometimes people don't understand why we're having the war, why we have to, like, I mean, so you don't want to lose the leadership to China.
No, you and they don't understand even like the Epstein thing. They said, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing that. They've always been doing it. There are other islands. They're still doing it. This is just coming out so that we can choose what side we're going to be on emotionally and spiritually.
Oh,
We're in a
but these
spiritual war.
these type of things always happening around the world, and you should ask why they doing, and but it wasn't coming to the public. But why it's coming to public right now? Because we have more light. when the light sheds more, that means we have more good people. And
Right.
so in the system, in the world, and
You're
we
right.
have a lot more good people. So these darkness start coming out. And it's going to be a less and less. If you look back 100 years, 200 years back, we were brutal. There was a time being, it's like they were throwing humans to lions and people were watching and clapping. There was
Right.
a time they were hanging people in the arenas. They were burning the woman claiming it's a, witch when it was just a healer. And now today we're
Sure, I was burned.
yeah,
Couple-
we we have like now we even like fighting for, animal rights, and we have human rights, and we come a long way, but it's gonna get even better. Golden age gonna come, but we have to watch the system changing and rebuilding, but everything is gonna be good, and the world gonna be going to a golden age.
Yeah, and so I totally agree with you, and I'm happy and grateful to be at the beginning, if nothing else, to kind of set the pace of what's happening, the groundwork. I think you and I are setting the groundwork. I don't know how fast things will happen because we don't know what God's timing is, but
It's like
um,
it started from Israel. It's like with the, religions, and I have the, like, and also with my spirituality, I ask, it's like when I was first time when I made the connection with the spirit world, my first question was, if there's a God, okay, if you God talking to me, I just want to know the answer, because I had my grandmother's friends, they were almost going to throw into oven in Germany when the World War II. And I said, how come, God allows such a suffering? So why that happened? Because the Jewish people didn't have place to go. There's no land to go. So they've been, kicked out from so many different countries, forced to change their religion. And when you don't have a government, when you don't have a country, and you don't have a voice in the world, so they need the country. So it was time to go back to Israel, but nobody was paying attention. And they've been persecuted. They've been, forced out from so many time. And if you look at ChatGPT, these people suffered, but they didn't have a government. They couldn't go back. So this was the God's plan. Everybody came on the Holocaust, so they knew what was going to happen, and then the world wake up. Okay, they need to then they purchased land from British to given back to the Jewish people, so they could go back, and then they could have a government, they could have a voice in the world, so they could defend and they could practice their religion freely, because they've been persecuted, forced to change, and they survive all these years, but they went through such a hard time. And then my other question was, like, if the God's favorite chosen people, why they suffer so much? And God says, like, God tortures the ones loves the most, because wants to keep them humble, and says doesn't want them to be spoiled, and says, okay, if I love, these are my chosen people, look what I'm doing to them, and what I wouldn't do to you if you don't listen. That was the thing. It's like, so God is not punishing them, it's just God, because wants to be fair and wants to show, stay humble, grounded, work hard, and build. And usually, I think it's like kind of more like a Jewish people living heaven and hell on this earth. And for them, it's like God setting up an example to all other people. So that's why, even if you go to a rabbi, ask about afterlife, they're like they don't have an education of afterlife. They don't talk about after, because they live heaven and hell here on this earth.
well, some people do believe that this is a hell. I mean, we come down here to this terrible planet to do things and to learn things that are treacherous. I mean, it seems pretty bad out there.
But we are making it bad. This
We
world,
are,
we
we
are
are.
And it's like because the collective consciousness, like whatever we think and we creating, it's like everybody's thought creates the reality for that country. And then each country is like whatever the most populations are thinking, creating the world reality. So whatever happening in the world news, whatever happening in the, like country wise, it's like it's everything is the collective consciousness, and it's kind of basically God voting. God doesn't do anything. God allowing us to make a decision. Every action we take becoming a cause to something else. It's like we created everything. I mean, like God created the trees, the universe, and everything. God created us, but the events are happening because of us. If there's a darkness, if there's bad events happening, it's because of us.
I agree. I totally am the same page. The collective consciousness of America, I think it has been the American dream: money, 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 get ahead, do money. And I think it's bit us on the butt, because we lost sight of why we wanted to get the money. It was, I'm going to get a home for my children. I'm going to get a heater for my house. There's mama will have a rug. But then it just went in a whole different place.
Back in days, people were complaining that, like the leaders, prince, kings weren't fair. And they were saying, if I become rich, I will be fair. I will give, I will share. But unfortunately, not enough people sharing. Even like when we make, like for example, even me, like what I did was I had too many poor people around me. And I said, I have to take care of my own first. And when I was like, believing giving 10% from whatever you earn, but I was giving, helping the people I know. And then later on, I find out that was wrong because like some things was happening. I was keep losing money. I'm like, why this happening? It says, because you are expecting something. I say, I'm not expecting anything. It's like, because I need to take care of those are from my family. It's like, because long as you're attached to that person, you want them to be grateful. Or like, if you just give it to people, if they don't know it's coming from you, then you're not expecting it.
Okay. Yeah,
But it's
or you can really get to the point, like I've gotten to the point, if I give you something, I really don't expect anything. If my kids are bratty or nasty one day or what, I'm just like my dogs. I don't
But
expect anything.
it's making you feel better, okay? It's like when we
Right,
give something, it's making us feel better because we're giving to somebody. But just writing a check, sending to somebody, and I say, well, I don't know if that organization uses it. It says you give, that's their problem. I
right.
just God looking at it like saying you give your like you donated. If that organization good or bad, it's their sin. But you're okay now, and now I give you tenfold whatever you give. It's like you now I learned that now if I give something to people I know and then I give more to people I don't know because
Exactly.
and then like for example even you go giving for charity sometimes in Palm Beach it's all charity and one year I donate a lot and I said I says no you didn't do it. I'm like excuse me I donated so much money. It's like says well your name is on the thing and you got recognition you got respect because you donated so much money. It was for you. I'm not I'm not buying this. So if you send a check anonymous, then I would say I could accept that because we're doing it for to receive, even the
Right.
receiving respect or your name is out there, it's not good. If we start
It's
helping more
it's pride. It's
it's a
pride.
yeah. So now I learned writing checks and not even giving my address or anything like that and sending out the donations. And that's the best way. And so if we
I
give
agree.
more, if we share more, and if we don't hold on to our titles, and if we treat everybody like our equal, and because in creators' eyes, we are all equal. The homeless person, uneducated person, educated person, millionaire, billionaire, they're everybody's same. It's nobody less. God created us all equal. So when we choose the one who is rich, but we are treating somebody who's not accomplished and we're putting that person down, and you're just putting your brother or sister, your soul being down. So God doesn't like those things. And so these are the things we're going to be learning. And what's going to happen in future, there's no going to be nobody's going to be poor. Everybody's going to get that universal income and the joblessness is going to disappear eventually. So people will have more time to study soul search and learn about spirituality.
And things that I like that you and I want to do, we will just do it. In other words, there's so many people out there that they're doing a job that they hate.
Yeah.
The people who do love will give. I would just do it for free. I mean, you know what I mean? That's how I am. I counsel people all the time for free that don't have
So,
money.
and if anybody watching this, if you have something you like to do and you hate your job, you could set up a consultation because every job I did, it's like I built businesses from the things I like doing. It was my talent, skills, even the matchmaking. And also in your numerology, in your life path number, it's all shows like, what your gifts are and something you enjoy, you're going to make money because those are the times that are coming. Nobody has to get stuck in the job they don't like and the golden age coming. So people could really fall in love for real reasons, not for the money.
And the gift to know is that you deserve that. You are God's child. You are heir to health, wealth, and abundance without misery, without pain and
If you
suffering.
attach the benefit to other people and you get so much more, anything you do, first think about, not just yourself, but think about other people, how these people going to benefit. And plus, when you donate portion of your earning to giving, helping other people, there was no way you will fail if you put the work in. It's like, I mean, like, it's never going to happen like easily. Yes, I still work, but it doesn't feel like working because I love what I do. If I was working for somebody, things I don't like, can you imagine? Sometimes I work 7 days, 10, 12 hours a day.
No, it's wonderful. And we are, I think they used to say we need 51% of the people awakened, and we are. There is 51%
I think
to
so.
make the golden age happen. So, everybody come aboard and wake up and remember how wonderful you are and how powerful you are, and that you are heir as the child of God and to health, wealth, and abundance, and claim it. Claim it. Don't think in that poverty mentality forever. Think of it, it's a lesson. I have times that I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been poor, I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been middle class, I work, and
That makes it exciting, you know?
it is. I've experienced everything, and I work with handicapped. I work with the homeless children. I worked in inner city schools that the parents never came to the school. They didn't care. I've worked in everything. I've worked in rural communities when the roadkill was chickens. I mean, it's part of the experience.
Now I am working on my nonprofit starting in this nonprofit to help light workers, starseeds, people who's awakening because I went through hell and came back when I was, some people ending up in mental hospitals and some people because they don't know what's going on and
I want to do that with you. That's what these books are about.
and then we could help people and they could because like where are you going to get help when you go to Western doctors, like they're going to be like, oh, you're having a psychosis, you're having a schizophrenia. When you tell a medicine doctor, it's like, like, I'm hearing voices, okay, you're crazy.
No, when you see a dead person in your room, like when you see someone who has passed and then they come and say, I love you, or you see an angel, or you hear your dead dog that just died 2 days ago pattering on the floor. It's not psychosis. It's not ridiculous. It's not you're making this up or you're in grief. These things are actually happening. There's more unseen than seen.
Don't you think it's like now because so many people are awakening? I think in hospitals they should have before diagnosing somebody with a schizophrenia or psychosis, they should have somebody spiritual to talk to that person. If because I was able to spot who is really needs a medicine, who is really because there's a signs if somebody making it up or needs some help or some of the things because how possibly for example I learned some of the things whole spiritual community now but these are came to me as a download and I didn't read from anywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of people like that. Okay, like something is going, I think it's
Yeah,
like
that's okay. I turned my phone off and it just came on here. And the real truth is that's how the world keeps us dumb. Let's medicate them. Don't let them tell the truth. No, 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 no. We don't want to talk about that. We can't talk about that. Like I do soul contracts. I think every person in the world, in a freshman in high school, should know their soul's purpose.
Yeah.
They should know what they were sent to do, whether it's to learn patience, be this, or be, I mean, everyone's different. I think that would make a great freshman class that you need to do to go on and really say, I love math. Why do I love math? Oh, because you're supposed to blah, blah, blah. Oh, now I'm really going to love math. I think in psych wards, they don't want us there. The churches don't want us there because then the churches lose power. You don't have to go to confession. You don't have to come to us and give money. You don't have to put your name on the tithes and offerings so you can get on the billboard.
But the like still they know like in the churches like people devoted their time to like life to learn and still we need the teachings and still we need the
Right.
community and
And
they
also,
could do it they could change it a little bit. I think
right, right.
everything needs to be like little updated because I'm not disagree with the religion. I am disagree with the some of the things like the way they're teaching and but
I think I think the teachings of Christ are completely correct. I think what the people have done with it is probably very sad
yeah, because
for
like people, some of the time, like I say, why did you walk away? The reason is like, oh, they just only care about the money. It's like whoever gives them more, it's like they just favoring those people, and so that's the problem. It's like that needs to be fixed. But the information, what the church was, it's like the Jesus and everything, Bible is correct, and just they need to, like have the world in the world like going to golden age. I think, and also I was like searching which religion is correct actually, like, if you show, like a blind person an elephant and try to, there was a like example of the one of them touching the, the nose and describing it's like the,
Mhm.
elephant like a, and now one of them touching the foot, but nobody's seeing the whole elephant. And actually, the spirituality, God is like, you need to know all of the religion to refuse one. You can't because after you've searched them all of them has truth. And we have to, like the Buddhism, it's teaching you how to deal with the struggles and it's like the Jesus teaching you the mercy and it's everything is true. It's like none of them is a lie.
Every temple, every church has part truth. Every
Our
religion has
truth,
part
yeah.
truth. There is truth everywhere. And people, I just say you will be drawn to what you need to know at this time. And then you may leave it. It doesn't make it less. I keep adding. I'm
I
not
say I say
subtracting.
don't believe the people like if somebody's selling you something and if you don't like it, do your own research. If somebody reading from
I say
Bible and you read yourself because if you give to Bible or any of the holy books to like the 100 different person and 100 of them coming back with a different information. And it's like so we need to learn our own self, find our that's why the spiritual awakening, because we don't need the middle person. When you are awakened, you're going to get the downloads directly from the creator. You're going to start communicating with your spirit guides, and there is no middle person. So, if you want to need help, how to awaken, we could help, right? April's like, she's awakened, I'm awakened, and I'm thinking about doing weekly, Zoom meetings like this. We could do
no, and I
some.
think we should do that. And I think we should really welcome people. One of the dearest communities I
They
work with
could ask
is
questions. It's like,
addiction.
like they could tell us what's happening in their awakening, and then they could learn from us. You went through, I went through. What's dark night of soul? What they're experiencing? What they seeing? It's like how to deal with the financial losses and dealing with the people around you. Because sometimes you have to defend yourself, your sanity. And I've seen people lost everything just like me. But don't worry because like how you hit the ball into like hard on the ground, you so you could rise higher. It's like
Mhm.
that. It's like everybody who hit the rock bottom is coming up, but it just takes a time. But that's to just to humble our soul, and because that's all we need is like the trust and having the faith and awakening. It's like we could help people to awaken. Are you in it, April?
I'm in full. I will would love to work with you, and I think God will not only bless the world, but we'll get the blessing of seeing people when that moment comes and they wake up or they cry or they say, I get it now, or thank you. No one's ever said that to me before. I never thought of it that way. And I always tell people, if something resonates with you, say we're doing a group, fine. If it doesn't, let it sit aside and come back to it when you're ready. There's no time. Obviously, we've been around for millennials of time. There's
Sometimes when you're not ready, you cannot resignate, but sometimes it takes time to get there. It's like you just be patient
no.
and, just take it or leave it.
It takes all of us time. We didn't get where we are, and I'm hopefully when I talk in 4 years from now, I'm going to go, what was I thinking 4 years ago? I'm in such a different place. We're all in this together. We're all working together and enjoying it in a place that's safe, no judgment, and just understanding and love and compassion. And that's all we need. That's all we need as a group.
Yeah, I'm working on the website and I'm gonna give it to tomorrow. I have to finish it tonight to give it to the website designer tomorrow and starting classes and no cost. It's free of charge.
Yeah.
And then the light workers, star seeds and sign up and send me your information. So we will send you the link. My website is not up yet, but it's gonna be rosematch.org. And that's the rose matches mean like rose and match to the light. And
Well,
that's
can
why.
I tell you, the rose has the highest frequency of any flower grown on the planet. So when people would give the rose as love back in the day when they studied all of this and they didn't have medications and all that, they would study and they knew the rose was a really high frequency of love.
I think it's
So,
some kind of sign also. Jesus rose from the dead.
right, he wrote,
Rose.
we rise every morning.
Yeah.
When they say we're reborn every morning we have another opportunity to do a little better.
Yeah. So if we match that frequency and then we're going to be going to a golden age.